The cloth napkin feels expensive under my fingertips. Everything at Bellavia's does. The crystal glasses, the Italian marble floors, the silk table runners that cost more than I make in a month. I fold the napkin into a perfect triangle and place it beside the gold-rimmed plate, my hands steady despite the exhaustion seeping into my bones. It's almost midnight on a Friday, and the restaurant hums with the kind of wealth I'll never understand. Champagne that costs more than my rent. Watches that could pay off my student loans. Laughter that comes easy when your biggest problem is choosing between the lobster or the wagyu. I move through the dining room like a ghost. Silent, invisible, efficient. Silence is my permanent state. I haven't spoken a word since I was 9 years old, the night my stepfather's hands closed around my throat and squeezed until something inside broke. The doctors saved my life, but couldn't save my voice. Permanent damage to the vocal cords, they said. Traumatic mutism, the therapist called it. I just call it my reality. 16 years later, I've adapted. A small notepad lives in my apron pocket for taking orders. Quick, neat handwriting has become my voice. Polite smiles compensate for words I can't say. And the invisibility that comes with being the mute waitress has become my armor. Most customers barely acknowledge me. I'm furniture that brings food, a shadow that appears and disappears without disrupting their important conversations. Tonight feels different. The kitchen door swings open and Vincent, the floor manager, grabs my elbow with fingers that dig too deep. His cologne is overwhelming, his smile predatory in a way that makes my skin crawl. Table 12, he says, his voice low and urgent. VIP. Don't fuck this up, Mia. My stomach drops when I see where he's pointing. The corner booth. The one with views of both entrances and exits. The one reserved for people whose names you don't say out loud. If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Drop a comment telling me where in the world you're watching from. I love hearing from you. I've served that table 3 times in my 2 years at Bellavia's. Each time, the men wore expensive suits and spoke in whispers, left tips that felt like bribes to forget their faces, and radiated the kind of danger that made every instinct scream to run. But tonight is different. I feel him before I see him. The restaurant's energy shifts. Conversations don't stop exactly, but they soften. People's eyes flicker toward the corner booth and quickly away, like looking too long might be dangerous. He sits with his back to the wall, and even from across the room, I can see the way shadows seem to gather around him. Charcoal suit that probably costs more than my car. Dark hair swept back from a face that belongs on magazine covers. Sharp jaw, intense dark eyes, and an expression of controlled stillness that's more frightening than any movement. 2 men flank the booth. One stands near the bar, the other by the kitchen entrance. Both built like walls, both scanning the room with predatory focus, both with hands that rest near their jacket lapels in a way that makes my mouth go dry. This isn't just VIP, this is apex predator territory. I pick up a wine list and menu with trembling fingers, force my breathing to steady, and cross the marble floor. Each step feels like walking toward the edge of a cliff. The scent hits me first. Expensive cologne mixed with leather and something that smells like power and violence and money. Cedar and gunpowder and danger. Buonasera, I hear myself think, wishing I could say it aloud. Instead, I stop at the edge of the table, keeping my eyes lowered respectfully, and place the leather menu in front of him. He doesn't look up immediately. His fingers, long, elegant, dangerous, drum against the white tablecloth in an irregular rhythm. A phone sits beside his wine glass, vibrating constantly with messages he ignores. When he finally lifts his eyes, the full weight of his attention hits me like a physical force. Dark eyes. Not just brown, almost black in the low light. The kind of eyes that have seen things I can't imagine. done things I don't want to know about. They study my face with unsettling intensity, like he's cataloging every detail, reading things I don't want to reveal. I pull out my notepad and pen, preparing to take his order the way I always do. But before I can write anything, he speaks. You don't talk. His voice is exactly what I expected. Gravel wrapped in silk, commanding without raising volume. An accent that sounds Italian but smoothed by years in America. I shake my head, offering my practiced professional smile. The one that says I'm fine. This isn't a problem. Please don't make it awkward. His eyes narrow slightly. Born that way or something else? The personal question surprises me. Most people don't ask. They either ignore it or stare with uncomfortable pity. I write quickly on my notepad. Childhood injury. It's not a problem, sir. May I take your order? He reads my handwriting, neat, flowing script that my mother insisted I perfect before she died, and something flickers across his face. Not pity. Something closer to respect? Dante, he says. Call me Dante. And it's not a problem for me either. I prefer people who listen more than they talk. My heart does something strange in my chest. The way he said it. Not dismissive, not patronizing, just matter of fact. I nod and write. What can I get you, Dante? Surprise me, he says, leaning back in his seat. I trust your judgment. It's a test. I know it immediately. Men like him don't give trust easily. This is him seeing if I'm observant enough to read him, intelligent enough to make a good call. I study him quickly. Expensive suit but no tie, less formal than the other men I've seen in this booth. The phone that won't stop buzzing. A busy night, probably stressed. The way his jaw is tight. Tension. Maybe a headache. The slight redness around his eyes. Tired. Not sleeping well. I write on my notepad. Carpaccio di manzo to start. Light. Won't sit heavy. Rigatoni alla vodka for main. Comfort food, not too rich. And a bottle of Brunello di Montalcino 2016, full-bodied enough to help you relax but won't make the headache worse. He reads it slowly, and when he looks up, there's genuine surprise in his eyes. How did you? He stops himself, a slow smile spreading across his face. The transformation is startling, dangerous, and beautiful all at once. You're observant. I shrug modestly, but inside I'm pleased and terrified. Being noticed by a man like this feels like standing too close to a fire. Perfect choices, he says. Bring everything. I nod and turn to leave, but his voice stops me. What's your name? I turn back and write. Mia. Mia. He tests it on his tongue like he's tasting wine. Italian? My mother was from Napoli. She passed when I was 12. I'm sorry. The sympathy in his voice sounds genuine. My father died 3 years ago. It's a particular kind of loneliness. Losing a parent. I'm not sure what to do with this vulnerability from someone who radiates such controlled danger. So I just nod, write a quick thank you, and escape to the kitchen. My hands shake as I enter the order into the system. What the hell was that? Why did he ask personal questions? Why did I answer? Mia. Vincent appears beside me, his voice sharp. That's Dante Caruso. Do you know who that is? I shake my head. He's the head of the Caruso family. The fucking Mafia, Mia. Vincent's face is pale. Don't talk to him more than necessary. Don't look at him wrong. Just serve and get out. My blood runs cold. Mafia. Of course. I should have known. The security, the corner booth, the way everyone avoids looking at him. I've just had a personal conversation with a mob boss. The kitchen staff prepares his order with unusual care. The chef himself plates the carpaccio, making sure every element is perfect. They know who's eating it. 15 minutes later, I'm carrying the appetizer and wine back to table 12, my heart hammering against my ribs. But when I reach his booth, everything changes. There are 4 men now instead of 2 guards. They're standing close to Dante, speaking in rapid, urgent Italian. One of them, tall, bald, with a scar cutting through his left eyebrow, is showing Dante something on a phone. I catch fragments as I approach. Le ragazze sono sparite. The girls have disappeared. Dimitri dice che è stato il club. Dimitri says it was the club. 3 ore fa. 3 hours ago. Dante's expression has gone completely flat. Dangerous. The kind of calm that comes before violence. I hesitate, not wanting to interrupt, but one of the guards notices me and waves me forward. I place the carpaccio and wine on the table with shaking hands. Dante doesn't even glance at the food. He's completely focused on whatever crisis is unfolding. Quante? He asks, his voice deadly quiet. How many? Cinque, tutte dal club. 5, all from the club. 5 girls missing. My stomach twists with dread. Trova Dimitri, adesso. Find Dimitri, now. The men nod and start to disperse, but I can't leave. Something is screaming at me to do something, say something. 5 girls are missing, and these men, criminal or not, seem to actually care about finding them. I pull out my pen, but instead of my notepad, I reach for Dante's cloth napkin, the expensive white linen that sits beside his untouched wine glass. My hand moves quickly, writing in small, neat letters along the bottom edge where the fabric folds. White van. Alley behind kitchen. 2 men loading something covered 20 minutes ago. Foreign plates. Looked Russian. Drove toward warehouse district. I place the napkin back beside his plate, positioning it so the writing faces him. Then I set down his wine glass directly on top of the message, making it look like I'm just being a careful waitress. Our eyes meet for just a fraction of a second. I pray he'll look at the napkin. Pray he'll see it. Then I turn and walk away on legs that feel like water. I make it halfway back to the kitchen before I hear his voice, sharp and commanding. Luca, Marco, vieni qui, adesso. Come here. Now. I don't turn around, but I can feel the energy shift behind me. I keep walking, pushing through the kitchen doors, my heart racing so fast I feel dizzy. What did I just do? What if I'm wrong? What if those men in the alley were just making a delivery? But I know what I saw. 2 men, rough-looking, shoving something large and covered into a white van. One of them had looked around nervously, like he was checking for witnesses. The license plate had Cyrillic letters. I'd noticed because my college roommate was Russian and taught me the alphabet. I'd thought about reporting it to Vincent, but what would I say? I can't speak, and by the time I wrote it all out, they'd be gone. So I'd filed it away, assuming it was just suspicious but not my problem. Until I heard Dante's men talking about missing girls. I'm arranging plates in the kitchen, trying to look busy, trying to breathe, when the door swings open. Dante. He's alone, and the look on his face makes me step back involuntarily. He crosses to me in 3 strides, and suddenly I'm backed against the stainless steel counter with nowhere to go. He's not touching me, but he's close enough that I can feel the heat radiating from his body, smell that intoxicating cologne mixed with something sharper. Adrenaline, maybe. Fury. The napkin. His voice is low, dangerous. You wrote on my napkin. I nod, my throat tight with fear. The van? The men? The Russian plates. You saw this? Another nod. When? Exactly when? I fumble for my notepad with shaking hands and write, 9:47 p.m. I checked my watch because I was timing how long the bread needed. His eyes scan my face like he's trying to see into my soul. You're certain about the Russian plates? Yes. Cyrillic letters. E. L. Something else. Fuck. He pulls out his phone, speaking rapid Italian. Luca, ho un indirizzo. Distretto dei magazzini. Cerca furgoni bianchi con targhe russe. I have an address. Warehouse district. Look for white vans with Russian plates. He's still talking when he reaches out and takes my hand. Not roughly, but firmly. His thumb brushes across my knuckles, and the gesture is bizarrely gentle given the violence in his voice. When he ends the call, he doesn't let go of my hand. Mia. My name sounds different in his mouth. Important. Do you understand what you just did? I shake my head. 5 girls were taken from one of my clubs 3 hours ago. Trafficking ring. Russian operation. His jaw clenches. We've been searching blind. Your information might have just saved their lives. My eyes widen. Oh God. I'd been right. Those men were kidnappers. I need to go, he says. But first, he pulls out his phone and types something, then shows me the screen. Put your number in. I stare at him, confused. Your number, Mia. I need to be able to reach you. With trembling fingers, I type my number into his phone. He saves it immediately, then calls it so I have his. If you see anything else, anything suspicious, anyone who makes you uncomfortable, you text me immediately. Understand? I nod. Good. He releases my hand but doesn't step back. You're observant, intelligent, brave enough to act even when you can't speak. His eyes burn into mine. That makes you valuable. And in my world, valuable things need to be protected. Before I can process that statement, he's reaching into his jacket. For one terrifying moment, I think he's going for a weapon. Instead, he pulls out a card, matte black with gold embossing. Just a name and a number. He presses it into my palm. My personal number. It's different from what's in your phone. This one reaches me directly, anytime, no matter what I'm doing. I stare at the card, my heart pounding. You did something brave tonight, Mia. Whether you realize it or not, you put yourself at risk to help people you don't even know. His voice drops, becomes almost tender. That's rare. You're rare. Then he does something that stops my heart. He lifts my hand and presses his lips to my knuckles. A brief kiss, warm and deliberate. Old world courtesy mixed with something possessive. Grazie, Mia. You might have just saved 5 lives. His eyes hold mine. I don't forget debts, especially not ones like this. Then he's gone, moving through the kitchen like a storm, barking orders to his men who've appeared from nowhere. I hear fragments as they leave. 3 teams, warehouse district. Look for Russian plates. Armed and ready. No mercy if they've hurt the girls. The kitchen door swings shut, and suddenly I'm alone with the sous chef and line cooks, all of whom are staring at me with expressions ranging from shock to fear. Did Dante Caruso just kiss your hand? The sous chef whispers. I can't answer. Can't move. Can only stand there with a black card burning in my palm and the ghost of his lips on my skin. Vincent appears in the doorway, his face white as paper. Mia, what the fuck did you do? What did you tell him? But I can't explain. Even if I could speak, I wouldn't know how to put into words what just happened. All I know is that I wrote a message on a napkin, and somehow, impossibly, that simple act might have just changed everything. The Mafia boss looked at me, really looked at me, and saw someone worth protecting. And that terrifies me more than anything. I don't sleep that night. How could I? Every time I close my eyes, I see Dante's face. The moment he read my message on the napkin, the dangerous intensity in his eyes, the way his lips felt against my knuckles, warm, possessive, like a brand. I lie in my cramped studio apartment, staring at the water-stained ceiling, turning the black card over and over in my hands. The embossed gold lettering catches the streetlight filtering through my thin curtains. Dante Caruso. And below it, a phone number. My phone sits on the nightstand, screen dark. He hasn't called or texted. I don't know if that's good or bad. Don't know if he found the girls. Don't know if my information helped or if I sent armed men on a wild goose chase into the warehouse district. Don't know if I just made the biggest mistake of my life by getting involved. Around 4 a.m., I finally drift into restless sleep, only to jolt awake 2 hours later to my phone vibrating on the nightstand. Unknown number. My heart hammers as I open the text. We found them. All 5. Alive. Because of you. D-relief hits me so hard I actually sob. A silent, shaking thing that makes my whole body tremble. They're alive. The girls are alive. I type back with shaking fingers. Are they okay? The response comes immediately. Scared. Roughed up. But alive. At the hospital now under protection. The men who took them won't hurt anyone ever again. The implication in that last sentence makes my stomach clench. Won't hurt anyone ever again. Meaning they're dead. Dante killed them. Or had them killed. I should be horrified. Should be disgusted that I helped a mobster commit murder. Instead, I feel relief. Those men were trafficking human beings. They would have done it again. Now they won't. What does it say about me that I'm okay with that? Another text arrives. I need to see you. Are you working today? I check my schedule. Saturday. I'm off until Monday. No. Off today and tomorrow. Good. My driver will pick you up at noon. We need to talk. My fingers hover over the keyboard. This is where I should say no. Should block his number. Throw away his card. Pretend last night never happened. Instead, I type. Okay. Dress casual. And Mia? Thank you. You saved 5 lives last night. I don't forget that. I set the phone down and stare at my reflection in the bathroom mirror. Dark. Circles under my eyes. Hair a mess. I look like I haven't slept. Because I haven't. In 8 hours, a Mafia boss's driver is picking me up to take me somewhere. I should be terrified. I am terrified. But I'm also something else. Something I don't want to examine too closely because it feels dangerous and stupid and inevitable all at once. Curious. At exactly noon, my phone buzzes. Outside. Black Mercedes. Driver's name is Luca. I look out my window and see it. A sleek black Mercedes S-Class that probably costs more than I'll make in 5 years. It looks obscene parked on my shabby street, between rusted Hondas and a pickup with a cracked windshield. I've dressed in jeans and a simple black sweater, my hair pulled into a ponytail. Casual, like he said. But my hands shake as I grab my purse and the small notepad I never leave home without. The driver, Luca, is built like a tank poured into an expensive suit. He opens the door before I reach it, his face professionally neutral. Miss Mia, he says with a slight Italian accent. Mr. Caruso is expecting you. I nod and slide into the back seat. The interior smells like leather and luxury. The seats are heated and soft classical music plays from hidden speakers. Luca doesn't speak during the drive. We head north out of the city, through neighborhoods that get progressively nicer until we're in an area I've only ever seen in magazines. Estates hidden behind iron gates, manicured lawns that stretch for acres, the kind of wealth that doesn't need to announce itself. We pull up to gates that open automatically, then drive up a long driveway lined with old-growth trees. And then I see it. The house? No, the mansion is stunning. Modern architecture mixed with old-world Italian villa aesthetics, cream-colored stone, floor-to-ceiling windows, a fountain in the circular driveway. It's beautiful and intimidating in equal measure. Luca opens my door. Mr. Caruso is waiting in the garden. I'll show you. I follow him through a side gate into a garden that takes my breath away. Roses and jasmine, winding stone paths, a pergola covered in climbing wisteria. And in the center, at a wrought iron table set for lunch, sits Dante. He's different in daylight. Less dangerous somehow, though that might be because he's wearing jeans and a simple white button-down instead of a suit. His hair is slightly damp like he just showered. He looks younger. more human. He stands when he sees me, and the smile that crosses his face is genuine, warm. Mia. He crosses to me, and before I can react, he's taking my hands in his. Thank you for coming. I nod, hyper aware of how warm his hands are, how they completely engulf mine. Sit. Please. I had lunch prepared. He guides me to the table, pulling out my chair like we're on a date instead of whatever this is. The table is set with beautiful dishes: antipasti, fresh bread, pasta, salad, wine. More food than two people could possibly eat. I didn't know what you liked, Dante says, sitting across from me. So I had Marco make everything. I pull out my notepad. This is too much. Nothing is too much for the woman who saved 5 lives. His eyes are intense, serious. Mia, do you understand what you did last night? I shake my head slightly. Those girls. They're dancers at one of my clubs, under my protection. When they disappeared, He pauses, jaw tightening. I thought I'd failed them. Thought they were gone, that we'd find their bodies in a few days if we found them at all. His hand curls into a fist on the table. The Russians have been moving into trafficking, using my territory, targeting my businesses. It's a declaration of war, taking people under my protection. He looks at me. Your information led us straight to them. We found the girls in a warehouse, drugged but alive. 3 hours later, and they would have been gone, shipped overseas, where we'd never find them. I write, I'm glad they're safe. Safe because of you. He reaches across the table and takes my hand. You risked yourself, Mia. Those men could have seen you watching. Could have come back for you. I hadn't thought of that. The realization makes my blood run cold. That's why you're here, Dante continues. We need to talk about your safety. I pull my hand back. I'm fine. I doubt they even noticed me. Maybe, but I can't take that chance. His expression is firm. The Russians know we hit their operation. They'll be looking for how we found them so fast. They're not stupid. They'll retrace their steps. And if they figure out you were the one who saw them, he doesn't need to finish. I understand. I'm a witness. A liability. Someone they might want to silence. If you're hooked on this story, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss an upload. Your support means everything and helps me bring you more emotional stories like this one. My hands shake as I write. What do I do? You let me protect you. His voice is gentle but leaves no room for argument. I'm assigning security. Discreet. You won't always see them, but they'll be there. Watching your apartment, your route to work, the restaurant. That's not necessary. It's not negotiable. His eyes flash with something possessive. You helped me, Mia. That makes you my responsibility. And I protect what's mine. The phrasing sends a shiver through me. What's mine? Like I'm his property. I should be offended. Instead, I feel safe. For the first time in years, someone is saying they'll protect me. Someone who has the power to actually do it. I write. For how long? Until the Russian situation is resolved. Could be weeks. Could be months. He pauses. There's another option. I wait. You could stay here. With me. The words hang in the air between us. I have more than enough space. You'd be completely safe. My home has security that rivals military installations. I stare at him, my heart pounding. He's asking me to move in with him. A man I met less than 24 hours ago, a mafia boss who kills people and runs criminal enterprises. This is insane. I write, I can't just move in with you. I don't even know you. Then get to know me. He leans forward, intense. Mia, I'm not going to lie to you about who I am or what I do. I'm not a good man. I've done things that would horrify you. but I'm very, very good at keeping people safe. And something about you. He trails off, searching for words. From the moment I saw you last night, something shifted. You're different. Special. You don't know anything about me. I know you're observant, brave, compassionate enough to risk yourself for strangers. His thumb brushes across my knuckles. I know you've survived something terrible, something that took your voice but not your strength. I know you're alone in this city, working yourself to exhaustion at a restaurant where the manager treats you like shit. I jerk back slightly. How does he know about Vincent? He reads my expression. I had you looked into last night, after you left. I needed to know if you were safe, if you had family who might also be at risk. His voice softens. You have no one, Mia. No family, no emergency contacts listed anywhere. Just you, alone in a studio apartment in a building with broken security locks. The invasion of privacy should anger me. Instead, it just feels sad. Because he's right. I am completely alone. Let me give you something, Dante says quietly. Safety, protection, a place where you don't have to constantly look over your shoulder. He pauses. And maybe, if you're willing, something more. Something more? A connection. His eyes hold mine. I haven't felt this interested in someone in years, Mia. Maybe it's crazy. Maybe it's too fast. But last night when you wrote on that napkin, when you risked yourself to help people you didn't know, I saw something rare. Someone worth knowing, worth protecting, worth... He stops himself, but I can see the word he didn't say hanging in the air between us. Worth keeping. I should run, should call a cab and get back to my tiny apartment and my ordinary life and forget this dangerous, beautiful man exists. Instead, I write. I need time to think. Take all the time you need. He releases my hand, though I can see it costs him. But in the meantime, security stays. Non-negotiable. I nod. That's fair. Now, his expression shifts, becomes lighter. Let's eat. You must be starving, and Marco will be insulted if we let his food get cold. The meal is surreal. We eat and communicate through my notepad. Me writing questions, him answering. I learn that he's 32, took over the family business when his father was killed 3 years ago. That he has a younger sister in Italy who he visits twice a year. That he loves old movies, hates olives despite being Italian, and plays piano when he can't sleep. He asks about me too. My childhood in Chicago before my mother died, the foster homes after, how I learned to adapt without a voice. My dreams of maybe, someday, opening my own small cafe where I could cook the recipes my mother taught me. Why don't you? He asks. I write, no money, no business experience, just a dream. Dreams are just plans you haven't executed yet. His eyes are serious. If you wanted it, really wanted it, I could help make it happen. I don't want charity. Not charity. Investment. In someone I believe in. He leans back. Think about it. After lunch, he shows me the house. It's massive. 8 bedrooms, a library, a gym, an indoor pool. Everything is beautiful and expensive and cold, like a museum more than a home. It's too big for one person, he admits as we stand in the library. Floor-to-ceiling books in Italian and English. My father built it for my mother. She died when I was 15, and it's felt empty ever since. I write, I'm sorry. Me too. He runs his hand along a shelf. I keep thinking I should sell it, get something smaller. But it's the last thing I have of them, you know? I do know. I kept my mother's rosary for years until it was stolen from my locker at one of the foster homes. The loss had felt like losing her all over again. On impulse, I reach out and squeeze his hand. A simple gesture of comfort. He looks down at our joined hands, then up at me, and something in his expression makes my breath catch. vulnerability mixed with hunger mixed with something softer. Stay, he says quietly. Please, Mia. Even just for a few days. Let me keep you safe while we figure out the Russian situation. I should say no. Every rational part of my brain screams it. But standing here in this beautiful, lonely house with this dangerous, lonely man, I find myself writing. Just for a few days. Until it's safe. The relief on his face is almost painful to see. Like I've given him something precious. Thank you. He lifts my hand to his lips again, kissing my knuckles with old-world courtesy. I'll have Luca bring your things. Whatever you need. And Mia? His eyes burn into mine. You have your own room. Your own space. I'm not expecting anything. This is about keeping you safe. Not about... I press my finger to his lips, silencing him. Then I write. I know. I trust you. It's insane. I've known him less than 24 hours. He's a criminal. A killer. But when he looks at me like I'm something precious, when he speaks about protection and safety with such conviction, when his eyes soften just for me, I feel it. Trust. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe I'm making a terrible mistake. But for the first time in 16 years of silence and loneliness, someone sees me. Really sees me. And I'm not ready to give that up. Not yet. Moving in takes less time than I expected, mostly because I own almost nothing. 2 suitcases of clothes, a box of books, my mother's recipe cards, and a photo album. My entire life fits in the trunk of Luca's Mercedes. The room Dante gives me is bigger than my entire apartment. Cream-colored walls, a massive bed with soft gray linens, French doors that open onto a balcony overlooking the garden. A bathroom with a tub big enough to swim in, and a shower that has more settings than my car. If you need anything at all, text me, Dante says from the doorway. I'm just down the hall, 3rd door on the left. I nod, clutching my small bag. Dinner is at 7. Casual. Marco cooks every night. He pauses, and I can see he wants to say more but doesn't. I'm glad you're here, Mia. Glad you're safe. Then he's gone, leaving me alone in luxury I've never experienced. I sink onto the bed and pull out my phone. 3 missed calls from Vincent, demanding to know why I'm not answering. 2 texts from my landlord about late rent. My old life, demanding attention. But here, in this beautiful room, in this fortress of a house, protected by a man who looked at me and saw someone worth saving, my old life feels very far away. I text Vincent. I quit. Emergency. Won't be back. Then I block his number before he can respond. The rent I'll deal with later. Right now, I just want to breathe. To feel safe. To stop looking over my shoulder waiting for violence to find me. A knock at my door makes me jump. But it's just Dante, holding a box. Forgot to give you this, he says, setting it on the desk. New phone, secure line. My number's already programmed in, along with Luca and Marco. Your old phone might be compromised if the Russians are looking for you. I stare at the expensive phone in the box. This is too much. It's necessary. His voice is firm. Humor me, Mia. Let me do this. I nod, too overwhelmed to argue. He crosses to me, kneeling so we're eye level. I know this is a lot. I know I'm asking you to trust me when you barely know me, but I promise you, you're safe here. No one will hurt you. Not while I'm alive. The vow is absolute. Binding. I reach out and cup his face, feeling the slight stubble on his jaw, the warmth of his skin. His eyes close at my touch, like he's savoring it. Then I pull out my notepad and write what I've been thinking since I agreed to stay. Why me? Really? You could protect me from a distance. Why bring me here? He opens his eyes, and what I see there steals my breath. Because I'm selfish, he says quietly. Because the thought of you going back to that apartment, to that job, to that life where you're invisible and alone, it makes me insane. His hand covers mine on his face. Because I want you here. With me. Where I can see you. Talk to you. Get to know you. And yes, keep you safe. But mostly, because I haven't felt this alive in 3 years. Not since my father died. And you make me feel human again. The confession is raw. Vulnerable. Nothing like the controlled Mafia boss from last night. I write. I'm scared. Of me? Of this. Of feeling too much too fast. Of getting hurt. I won't hurt you. His voice is fierce. I'd die before I hurt you, Mia. That's a promise. He stands and steps back, giving me space. Get settled. Rest. I have some business calls, but I'll see you at dinner. After he leaves, I sit on the bed holding that promise in my heart like a talisman. I'd die before I hurt you. From anyone else, it would sound like melodrama. From Dante Caruso, a man who deals in life and death, it sounds like a vow. And God help me, I believe him. The first week passes in a strange, dreamlike haze. I wake each morning in silk sheets that smell like lavender, in a room flooded with sunlight, to the sound of birds in the garden instead of sirens and traffic. It feels like living in a different world, a safer world. Dante keeps his distance, true to his word. He works from his office most days. I can hear his voice through the walls, speaking Italian in tones that range from commanding to deadly calm. But at breakfast and dinner, he's different, attentive, curious. He asks about my day, my dreams, my mother's recipes. He listens like every word I write matters. We fall into a rhythm. Morning coffee on the terrace. Him reading the news while I sketch in a journal he bought me. Dinners where Marco serves incredible food and Dante tells me stories about growing up in this house, about his sister Sofia in Milan, about the legitimate businesses he's trying to build alongside the criminal empire he inherited. I want out eventually, he tells me one night over wine. Not completely. You can't just leave this life. But I want to transition. Make the family business something my future children won't be ashamed of. Future children? I write, surprised. He smiles, a little self-conscious. Someday. If I'm lucky enough to find someone willing to build that future with me. His eyes hold mine. Someone brave and kind and strong enough to handle what I am. The implication hangs between us like smoke. But he doesn't push, doesn't demand. Just lets the possibility exist. At night, I lie in my enormous bed and think about the man down the hall. The way he looks at me like I'm precious. The way his hand lingers when he passes me the bread basket. The way his voice softens when he says my name. I'm falling for him. It's terrifying and inevitable and probably stupid, but I can't stop it. On the 8th day, everything changes. I'm in the library reading when Luca appears in the doorway, his expression grim. Miss Mia, we have a situation. Mr. Caruso needs you in his office. Now. My stomach drops. The way he says it, urgent, worried, makes my hands shake as I follow him down the hall. Dante's office is all dark wood and leather, walls lined with books and art that probably costs more than most houses. He's standing at his desk, phone pressed to his ear, his free hand clenched in a fist. Non mi importa cosa vuole Dimitri. La risposta è no. I don't care what Dimitri wants. The answer is no. He looks up when I enter, and the fury in his eyes makes me stop in my tracks. But when he sees me, something shifts. The rage banks, controlled. Devo andare. Abbiamo finito qui. I have to go. We're done here. He ends the call and crosses to me immediately, his hands finding my shoulders. Are you okay? I nod, confused. Why wouldn't I be? The Russians know. His voice is tight. They know someone tipped us off about the warehouse. They've been asking questions, putting pressure on people. His jaw clenches. They just sent a message. A threat. He pulls out his phone and shows me a photo. My stomach turns to ice. It's my old apartment building. The photo was taken from across the street, showing my third-floor window. Someone drew a red circle around it in the digital image. They know where I lived. They're looking for you, Dante says, his voice deadly calm. Dmitry Volkov, the Russian boss. He's putting out feelers, asking about a mute waitress from Bellavia's who worked the night his operation got hit. My hands shake as I write. How do they know about me? Someone at the restaurant talked, probably Vincent. Dante's expression darkens. Don't worry about him. He's been handled. Handled? He's alive, but unemployed and understanding the consequences of running his mouth. Dante's hand cups my face. The point is, they're actively looking for you, Mia. This isn't theoretical anymore. You're in real danger. What do we do? You stay here, where you're safe, where they can't touch you. His thumb brushes my cheekbone. I'm increasing security. No one gets within a mile of this property without me knowing. A knock at the door interrupts us. Marco enters, his weathered face serious. Boss, the perimeter sensors picked up movement. East Gate. 2 men, watching the property from the tree line. Dante's entire body goes rigid. Russians? Likely. They scattered when our patrol approached, but they were there for at least 20 minutes. The implications sink in like stones. They found me. They know where I am. Dante's arms wrap around me, pulling me against his chest. I can feel his heart hammering, feel the tension radiating through his body. Lock it down, he tells Marco. Full security protocol. No one in or out without my authorization. And get eyes on Volkov. I want to know where he is, what he's planning, every fucking move he makes. Already on it, boss. After Marco leaves, Dante doesn't let me go. He holds me like I might disappear, his face buried in my hair. I won't let them take you, he whispers fiercely. I don't care what it costs. I don't care if I have to go to war with every Russian crew in Chicago. They don't touch you. Ever. I pull back enough to write. This is my fault. I should never have written that message. Don't. His eyes flash. Don't you dare regret saving those girls. What you did was brave and right, and I'll be damned if I let you feel guilty for it. But now you're in danger because of me. I'm always in danger. That's the life. His hands frame my face. But you deserve better than this. Better than me and my world and the violence that follows me everywhere. I shake my head and write quickly. I don't want better. I want you. The confession hangs between us. Raw, true, terrifying. Dante stares at me like I've just said something in a foreign language. Mia, I mean it. These past 8 days I've felt safer and more seen than I have in 16 years. You make me feel like I matter. Like I'm worth protecting. Worth knowing. My hand shakes as I write. I'm falling for you, Dante. I know it's crazy and fast and probably stupid, but I can't help it. Christo. He breathes the word like a prayer. Then his lips are on mine, desperate and claiming and tender all at once. I kiss him back, pouring everything I can't say into the press of lips and tongue. My hands find his hair, pulling him closer, and he groans against my mouth. When we finally break apart, we're both breathing hard. I love you, he says, the words tumbling out like he can't hold them back anymore. I know it's insane. I've known you 9 days. But I love you, Mia. You're the first good thing in my life in years, the first clean thing. You make me want to be better, do better, build something that isn't just blood and money and power. Tears stream down my face as I write. I love you too. He kisses me again, softer this time, reverent, like I'm something holy he's been blessed to hold. Marry me, he whispers against my lips. I freeze, pull back, stare at him. I know it's too soon. I know I'm asking for everything when I should be taking it slow. His eyes are desperate, vulnerable. But I also know that every day with you feels like coming home, and I know that the thought of losing you to Volkov or anyone else makes me capable of burning this entire city down. That's not a reason to get married. You're right. Here's the real reason. He takes both my hands. I want you as my wife, because you're the only person who looks at me and sees past the monster. Because you're brave and kind and stronger than anyone I've ever met. Because I want to wake up next to you every morning for the rest of my life. Because I want to build something with you. A life, a future, maybe a family someday. He pulls out a box from his desk drawer. Inside is a ring, a simple platinum band with a single perfect diamond. Elegant, understated, beautiful. It was my grandmother's, he says quietly. The only piece of jewelry my mother kept when everything else got sold. She gave it to me before she died and told me to save it for someone special. Someone worth everything. Dante. You don't have to answer now. Think about it. Take all the time you need. But his eyes are pleading. Just know that I'm serious. About you. About us. About building a life where you never have to be invisible or afraid again. Before I can respond, Luca bursts through the door. Boss, we've got a situation. Volkov just called. He wants a meeting. Dante's expression goes cold. Dangerous. When? Tonight. Neutral ground. He says he wants to negotiate a truce. Bullshit. Dante's voice is flat. He wants to make demands, probably wants me to hand over the witness who cost him his trafficking operation. He means me. What do we do? Luca asks. Dante looks at me and I see the war in his eyes. The Mafia boss who knows he should negotiate. The man who loves me and would rather die than give me up. I'm taking the meeting, he says finally, but on my terms, my location, my security. And if Volkov even breathes Mia's name, the truce is off. Let me come with you, I write desperately. Absolutely not. If this is about me, I should be there. That's exactly why you can't be there. His voice is gentle but firm. Mia, if Volkov sees you, if he confirms you're the one who cost him 5 girls and 3 men, you become a permanent target. Right now, there's still plausible deniability. We keep it that way. What if he demands proof that you don't have me? Dante's jaw clenches. Then I'll handle it. But you stay here, safe, where nothing can touch you. He cups my face, his thumbs wiping away tears I didn't realize were falling. I'll come back to you. I promise. And when I do, you can give me your answer about the ring. Don't go. Please. This feels wrong. I have to. If I don't show, it's war. And war means more bodies, more violence, more danger for everyone, including you. He presses his forehead to mine. Trust me, Tesoro. I've survived worse than Dmitry Volkov. But as I watch him leave, watch him button his suit jacket and check the gun at his hip and transform back into the dangerous crime boss who rules this city's underworld, I can't shake the feeling that everything is about to fall apart. The house feels too quiet after Dante leaves. Luca stayed behind with 4 other guards, all of them positioned around the property like sentinels. Marco tries to distract me with dinner, but I can barely eat. My stomach is in knots, my mind spinning with worst-case scenarios. What if Volkov brought more men? What if it's a trap? What if Dante doesn't come back? At 9 p.m., my new phone buzzes. Meeting in progress. I'm fine. Stop worrying. But I can't stop worrying. I pace the library, the living room, the garden. Luca watches me with sympathetic eyes but says nothing. At 10:30, the phone buzzes again. Almost done. Be home soon. Miss you. Relief floods through me. He's okay. It's almost over. Then, at 10:47, everything goes to hell. The security alarm blares, a piercing shriek that makes me jump. Luca's radio crackles with urgent Italian. Perimetro violato. Settore est. Multipli uomini armati. Perimeter breached. East sector. Multiple armed men. Luca grabs my arm. Miss Mia, we need to move, now. What's happening? He doesn't answer, just pulls me toward the panic room, a reinforced space in the basement that Dante showed me my first day here. Just in case, he'd said. We're halfway down the stairs when we hear it. Gunfire. Not distant. Right outside the house. Luca shoves me into the panic room, a windowless concrete box with a reinforced door, supplies, and a direct line to Dante's phone. Lock yourself in. Don't open this door for anyone but Mr. Caruso, understood? I nod, terrified. He's going to be pissed I let them get this close, Luca mutters. Then softer. Stay safe, Miss Mia. The boss would burn the world down if something happened to you. Then he's gone, and I'm alone in the concrete box with my racing heart and the muffled sound of gunfire above me. I fumble for my phone and call Dante. It rings once, twice. Mia? His voice is sharp with panic. Are you safe? Are you in the panic room? Yes. What's happening? I text because calling feels too exposed somehow. Volkov double-crossed me. The meeting was a distraction while his men hit the house. I'm 10 minutes away. Stay in the panic room. Don't come out for anyone but me. Dante, I'm scared. I know, amore, but you're safe. That room could withstand a bomb. And I'm coming. I'm almost there. The gunfire gets louder, closer. I hear shouting in Russian, then Italian, then more shots. My phone buzzes. 5 minutes. Just hold on. Please, Mia, just hold on. I clutch the phone like a lifeline, counting seconds, trying not to imagine what's happening above me. Then, suddenly, silence. The abrupt absence of gunfire is almost worse than the noise. I don't know if that means it's over, or if it means something terrible has happened. Footsteps on the stairs, heavy, multiple people. My heart stops. A knock on the panic room door. Mia, it's me. Open up. Dante's voice. But I've watched enough movies to know better than to just trust a voice. I text. Tell me something only you would know. A pause. Then. The first thing you ever wrote to me was a wine recommendation. Barolo 2015. You noticed I was tired and stressed and chose a meal that would help. That's when I knew you were special. Relief hits me so hard I sob. I unlock the door and it swings open. Dante stands there, suit jacket gone, shirt torn, a cut above his eyebrow bleeding down his face. But he's alive, whole, real. I throw myself into his arms and he catches me, holding me so tight I can barely breathe. I've got you, he whispers into my hair. I've got you. You're safe now. Over his shoulder, I see Luca and Marco and 3 other guards, all of them looking worse for wear, but alive. The Russians? I pull back enough to write. Dead or captured. Dante's voice is cold. Volkov's men. Not him personally, he's too much of a coward for that. But his soldiers. His jaw clenches. This was a statement. He wanted to prove he could reach you even here. What happens now? Now? Dante's eyes are black with fury. Now I show Dmitry Volkov what happens when someone threatens what's mine. Now this becomes war. He leads me upstairs and I see the aftermath. Broken windows, bullet holes in the walls, blood on the marble floors. The beautiful house transformed into a battlefield. Pack a bag, Dante tells me. Just essentials. We're leaving. Where are we going? Somewhere safer. Somewhere even the Russians can't find us. He cups my face. I have a place upstate. isolated, fortified. We'll go there until this is finished. How long? However long it takes for me to end Volkov. His voice is deadly calm. Days, weeks. I don't care. You're not coming back to Chicago until he's dead and his organization is destroyed. The certainty in his voice should terrify me. This is what loving a man like Dante means. Violence, war, constant danger. But as he holds me in the wreckage of his beautiful house, as he looks at me like I'm the only thing in the world that matters, I realize something. I don't want to run from this. From him. From us. I pull out the ring box from my pocket. I've been carrying it since he gave it to me, unable to put it down. His eyes widen. Mia. I open the box and hold it out to him. Then I write with shaking hands. Yes, I'll marry you. Not because I'm scared or because I need protection. Because I love you. Because you see me. Because I'd rather face danger with you than safety without you. Dante stares at me like I've performed a miracle. Then he's sliding the ring onto my finger with hands that shake, kissing me like I'm air and he's drowning. I don't deserve you, he whispers against my lips. But I'll spend the rest of my life trying to. You already do. You saw me when I was invisible. You protected me when I was vulnerable. You loved me when I couldn't even speak. Always, he vows, until my last breath to sorrow. You're mine, and I'm yours. Around us, his men discreetly look away, giving us this moment. This impossible, beautiful, dangerous moment. Later, as we drive through the night toward safety, I lean against Dante's shoulder and watch Chicago disappear in the rearview mirror. My old life is gone. The invisible waitress who served in silence doesn't exist anymore. In her place is a woman who wrote a message on a napkin and changed everything, who fell in love with a monster and found a man, who chose danger and protection and love over safety and loneliness. Dante's hand finds mine, his thumb brushing across the ring on my finger. No regrets? He asks quietly. I shake my head and write. Only one. What's that? That I didn't write that message sooner. Didn't find you sooner. His laugh is surprised and genuine. We found each other exactly when we were supposed to, amore, not a moment before or after. Maybe he's right. Maybe this, us, was always inevitable from the moment I noticed his tension and recommended the right wine. From the moment he looked at me and saw someone worth knowing. From the moment I wrote danger on a napkin and he read protection in my words. Two broken people finding wholeness in each other. A mute waitress and a mafia boss. The most unlikely love story. And somehow, impossibly, perfectly ours. 6 months later. The war with Volkov lasted 6 weeks. I didn't see most of it. Dante kept me hidden in his upstate fortress, a sprawling estate that made his Chicago mansion look modest. He'd come back to me every few days, sometimes clean and unharmed, sometimes bloody and exhausted. But always, he'd hold me like I was the only thing keeping him human. It's almost over, he'd promise. Soon you'll be safe. Soon we can start our real life. He was right. Dmitry Volkov died in what the news called a tragic car accident. His organization crumbled within days, his lieutenants either absorbed into other families or fleeing the city entirely. The 5 girls I'd helped save? 3 went back to their families. 2 asked Dante for jobs at his legitimate businesses, safe, legal work that gave them new starts. One of them, Anna, sent me a letter. I don't know who you are, but thank you. You saved my life. You gave me a future I thought was gone. I hope you find your happiness. You deserve it. I cried for an hour. Now I stand in the garden of Dante's restored mansion, rebuilt better than before, with security that could rival Fort Knox, wearing a simple white dress and holding a bouquet of my mother's favorite flowers. It's a small wedding, Just Luca and Marco, and a handful of Dante's most trusted people. His sister Sophia flew in from Milan and hugged me for 5 minutes straight when we met, whispering, "Thank you for saving my brother," in Italian. No big ceremony, no spectacle, just us and the people we trust, making promises in the garden where I first agreed to stay. Dante stands at the altar in a black suit, looking devastating and nervous and so in love it makes my chest ache. When I reach him, he takes my hands and his eyes are wet. "I had a whole speech prepared," he says with a shaky laugh. "But all I can think is that I'm the luckiest man alive. You saved 5 girls that night, Mia. But you also saved me. You gave me a reason to be better, to build something good, to believe I could be more than what I was." I write quickly on the card I prepared. "You were always more. I just helped you remember. Then let me spend the rest of my life showing you that you were right to believe in me." His voice is fierce. "I promise to protect you, cherish you, see you always, to build the life we both deserve, to love you until my last breath and beyond." The officiant pronounces us married, and when Dante kisses me, it feels like coming home and stepping into the future all at once. Later, at the reception, Sophia corners me. "He's different because of you," she says in lightly accented English. "Softer, happier, more human." She squeezes my hand. "Thank you for giving me back my brother." Marco the cook is weeping openly, insisting the meal had to be perfect because Miss Mia deserves only the best. Even Luca, stoic Luca, gives me a rare smile. "You're good for him, Mrs. Caruso. Maybe you'll be good for all of us. Help us remember we're still human under all the violence." As the sun sets and fairy lights twinkle in the trees, Dante pulls me onto the dance floor. Sway together, and he hums softly, an Italian melody I recognize from one of my mother's favorite songs. "I have something to tell you," he murmurs. "A wedding present. You've given me enough. Not this." His smile is mysterious. "Remember your dream? The cafe?" I nod, confused. "There's a building downtown, perfect location. I bought it." He pulls out keys. "It's yours. To do whatever you want with. Open your cafe, your restaurant, your bakery. Whatever you dreamed of. I'll fund it, but it's yours to build. Your vision. Your legacy." Tears stream down my face as I take the keys. "Why?" "Because you gave up everything when you warned me that night. Your job, your apartment, your independence. I want to give you something back. Something that's just yours." His eyes are soft. "Build your dream, amore. And I'll make sure you're safe while you do it." I kiss him, pouring everything I feel into it. Gratitude and love and joy and disbelief that this is my life now. That the mute waitress who scribbled danger on a napkin is now a mafia wife with a husband who adores her, a future that's bright despite the shadows, and a dream she thought was lost forever. Later, much later, we're alone in our bedroom now, officially, after months of separate rooms. Dante's fingers trace the ring on my hand, then move to trace patterns on my skin. "No regrets?" he whispers against my neck. I shake my head and reach for my notepad one last time. "Only gratitude. You saw me when I was invisible, heard me when I couldn't speak, loved me when I thought I was unlovable. You're my voice, Dante, my protection, my home. And you're my salvation," he breathes, "my conscience, my reason to be better." As he makes love to me with devastating tenderness, I think about that night 9 months ago. A napkin, a hidden message, a choice to act instead of staying invisible. That single moment changed everything. Led me here, to him, to us, to a life I never dreamed was possible, the mute waitress and the mafia boss. Our story started with words written in secret. And it will continue with a love spoken in every touch, every glance, every moment we choose each other again and again, forever. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you loved this story, check out the other videos on your screen now. I think you'll really enjoy them. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next story.